back to CS Coins. We are back at another penny hunt today, going for that penny hunt fill album series. We've got a 1909 to 1940 album. We've got a lot of spots to fill in that. Oldest wheat cent there is a 1918, but we do have a few of the spots filled. But yeah, a lot of the teens wheats need work here. And a little recap on this album here. Same story. I mean, we got a good amount of fills, but still a lot of work to be done. Can never get this last page open. There we go. Yep, so got our work cut out for us here. Always trying to fill more wheats in these albums. Got a brand new penny bag here. Been holding on to this one for a little while. I haven't seen too many wheats from the outside, but I have seen some, so we're definitely going to get some here. But hopefully we can find some cool stuff today. Errors, varieties, you name it. Hopefully there are some good coins to be found. Let's get to it. Alright, so we've got our first wheats in here. We just opened the bag. Let's take a look and see what year we got. 52 Denver. Alright, there's got to be more in here. We just started. Hopefully there are a decent amount of wheats, and hopefully some old ones. We've got another wheat here, obverse facing. This one we might need for the album. We had a 1950 S. Those S mints are not as easy to come by. So there's a decent chance that one's a filler for us. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can keep them coming here. We've got a couple finds in sight here. First of all, we're going to have a wheat penny. This one is pretty darkened. Let's see if we can get an older one here. Nope, just a 53D. And this one we can see the date on. We've got an old Canadian 1946. Should be a King George, and it is. That's awesome. I love finding these old Canadian coins. Being from Michigan, they are pretty common, but can't get enough of them. I love seeing that that busted something different. So awesome find there. Looks to be pretty beat up, but I think we've got an old wheat cent here. Let's flip it and see if we can get a fill. 26. I think we already have that one, unfortunately. Man, if it had that S mint mark, we'd have a semi-key. It's a bit of a bummer, but I'll still take an old wheat cent. I'm not mad about that. That is going to be wheat cent number 4 for the hunt, plus we have that old Canadian cent.
Real quick, I just wanted to let all you guys know I'm now a partner with Whatnot. So Whatnot is an up-and-coming virtual marketplace that is kind of similar to eBay. They're just going to focus a lot more heavily on live video auctions, so that's what's unique about it. So there's going to be people doing these live video auctions of all kinds of coins and bullion. You can buy gold bullion, silver coins, gold coins, pretty much anything you could imagine, copper coins, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys use my link, since I'm now a partner, you can save $15 on your first buy when you make an account. So sign up using that link in the video description and save some money on some awesome coins.
Alright, so we have a few wheat finds here to check out. I'm seeing a few reverses, so we're going to go ahead and see what we got here. Pretty beat up 1945 here. See another wheat cent up here. This one is going to be a 51D. And lastly, I saw him peeking out over here. This one is a 41. And I don't see any doubling on this one, unfortunately. You got to look for that DDO on the 1941. But 3 more wheat cents. We are now at, let's do a quick count up. I think we got 7 now, so not bad so far. Hopefully we can get well into those double digits and find some more good ones. Well, this is a pretty cool find here. It's not a wheat penny. We've actually got a German coin from 1966. Bundesrepublik Deutschland. It's going to be a 2 Pfennig coin. That's a pretty old one too. Usually when we find foreigns, especially from Germany, I've found that they're typically from like the 90s or the 80s. I don't think I've found any as old as the 60s yet, so that's pretty cool. Very awesome to see that in the bag. I will put it with the finds here, and hopefully we got more to come pretty soon. Hopefully there's some more foreigns in here. I do see some Canadians here and there, but we're looking for different countries. Here in Michigan, it's pretty common to find those Canadian cents. This caught me off guard a little bit. We are going to have another foreign. I think I have found these in the past, but they don't come by too often. We got a 2004 Barbados coin here. This is going to be 1 cent. Looks like there's a trident on the reverse with something wrapped around it. Not sure what that is, but it's pretty cool. All right. That's a cool find, guys. Let's keep at it. We're keeping up with the foreign trend here. We got an old Canadian 1956. This one is going to have the Lauria portrait, young head, Elizabeth II. And this bag, as you can see, is getting pretty filthy. My hands have all sorts of nasty dust and particles on it. So definitely have to give them a good wash after this hunt. Not the cleanest bag I've ever been through, but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to get these coins. So we will take that. And I'm actually seeing a couple wheats as I just put that away. We got one here, 58D. Zoom in on that. I think that 8 could be a little bit under a grease strike there. It looks like it's a little weak, so we could have had, where did I just put that one? There we go. Could have had some grease strike going on there on the 8, so that's pretty cool. And let's check this one out real quick. We got another 1958. This one's Philly though, and that one's pretty dirty. It looks like it could have been underground or something, but we will take it. Got a decent little pile of wheat pennies going now. Getting close to the end of the bag here. I have the rest of it pretty much dumped out, and yeah, there's not much left to look through. But right here, I thought you guys would think this might be kind of interesting. Looks like we've got a grease strike. This is going to be a 1983. And the coin is pretty much missing the E in E pluribus unum. If we look at it in that light, it just says pluribus unum. You can also see the S and like the O and the F are a little weak on the bottom there. So pretty cool little find. I will hold on to that one and put it in the keeper pile. All right, everything's slowing down pretty good here now, but I am seeing a couple wheat pennies. It usually seems that they come in waves for some reason. So here we got a 57D. And I saw another one over here reverse facing. Let's take a look at that one. There we go. There's a 41. I'm going to zoom in and see if we can see any doubling there. I don't see any, but you're going to want to look for a DDO on this 1941. That one gets pretty valuable, so definitely something to look out for. I found something similar to this earlier in the hunt. I just wanted to show you guys again. I thought it was pretty cool. We've got another grease strike on a 1983. I don't know if this is like a common thing for this year. I don't think I've ever found anything like this until now. But the E, again, in E pluribus unum is gone. In the States, the lettering there is pretty weak on the bottom of those letters. So it's pretty cool. I will probably hold on to it. I don't know if it's worth like putting in a flip, but I'll probably roll it up or something. Put it with some minor errors. It's pretty cool. We got a couple of wheats here that I wanted to check out. They're both reverse facing. This one is a 52 Denver. And looks like this one could have some toning of some kind. That's kind of cool. That's going to be a 1946. Looks like I missed a wheat here. We've got one underneath another penny. This one is going to be 1958, last year, the wheat penny. So this Queen Elizabeth II Lauria portrait penny was looking pretty old, so I gave it a flip, and we do have an older one. We got a 55. I usually try to keep the wheat penny years for Canadian cents, so 58 and before. So 55 I will hold on to. I got a couple more wheats in sight here as I'm finishing up the bag. I do not have much left to search, so I think these might be the last two. But here we've got an obverse facing 1953D. And I see a wheat reverse over here, so we're going to go ahead and check that one out. This one's going to be a 58D, another last year wheat cent. So not much more to search through, maybe a couple dollars in pennies here. But hopefully we can find something else good. I'll bring you guys back in if we do. If not, we will get on to the wrap-up and see if we're able to get any fills in these albums here. So this is an interesting find here. I took this 1984, picked it up, checked for that double ear. I'll look under that earlobe under there for some doubling for that DDO. We don't have that, but we do have what looks to be a pretty big die crack down by Liberty over here. You can see it passing through Lincoln's shoulder blade there. So that's pretty cool. I don't find many die cracks in the pennies. You know, and I'm pretty sure that's not zinc blistering because you would see it in other areas of the coin too. It's just one mark right here. So pretty sure that's a die crack. Pretty cool find right there. Happy to see that. I think we could have a DDR here with this 1983. I actually pulled a few aside just because the, you know, the lettering looked a little thick on one of them. Earlier in the hunt, I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought I'd pull them aside and check them out later. But if you can see the O and of right there on the top one, it's way thicker than the O on the bottom one. And just all the lettering looks a bit thicker. Actually, my microscope is not working right now. I could set up my old one to take a look at it, but I think I'm going to look at some books, maybe look it up online and see what this DDR is supposed to look like, because we might have a winner here. That definitely looks like some thicker lettering than we're used to seeing there. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this one, and hopefully we got something good there. It definitely looks noticeably thicker than the coin on the bottom. So I will let you guys know if we got a winner there. I'm going to look into it and let you know at the end of the video. I just wanted to show a few more coins that I pulled aside earlier in the video. Not too sure what they were, just wanting to take a better look at them later. But we got a 1984 here, and at first I saw some doubling under the ear there. I thought we had the, you know, the DDO with the doubled ear. I found one of those before, but then I compared it to the one I had, and it's really not the same kind of doubling. The one that I have, it's like almost a full ear below that one. It's not just like a little earlobe section like that. This one's a bit harder to see on the one on the left. I'm going to put it up to the light and see if we can get it into focus. Still pretty hard to see, but it's the same kind of deal where it's just a little bit of doubling on the earlobe. So this might be some kind of DDO for these, but it's definitely not like the big one that you want to look for. I think that's the FS101. That's the doubled ear. But I'm definitely going to hold on to these and do a little more research and see if we got anything decent there. So we've got those, and I also wanted to show this here. Now I'm thinking there's a good chance this is plated. If we look at certain parts of the coin, like there on the face, it's looking like some copper's peeking through. But this is something you would kind of want to keep an eye out for. This would be pretty similar to what a unplated zinc penny would look like. Sometimes they forgot to put the copper plating on some of these actually. So they just look kind of like a metallic silverish color like this. But again, like one of the telltale signs that you have a good one is you can't see any copper peeking through, and since we see some, I don't think we have a good one here. I think it was plated, but that was still an interesting find. It's too bad we didn't have a steel set or something. I'm glad I didn't see the rim like that in the bag. I would have got pretty excited, but this is another one I'll probably do a little bit more research on just to make sure we don't have anything special. But I just wanted to show you guys that too before we get to the wrap up. All right, that's a wrap on this penny bag, another $50 penny bag in the books. It was a decent hunt here. We got some interesting finds. I would have liked to have, you know, some more wheat pennies and some older ones. I don't know how many fills we're going to be able to get today, but at least we got a decent amount here. We've got 18 in total, ranging from 1926 all the way up to 58. Most of these are just going to be common 50s. We do have some 40s and, of course, the 26. The 50S, I think, could be a fill, some of those like estimate marks, but everything else, I don't know. It's not looking too promising. I don't have anything in crazy shape or anything either, so I don't know if we'll have any upgrades. But a decent amount of wheat pennies for a bag. 18 is not bad. We got the 1966 German coin here, the 2 Pfennig. This was probably one of my favorite finds from the bag. That was a pretty cool one to see coming out. We've also got the 2004 Barbados cent there. We got a 46 Canadian, 56, and a 55 here. I think we got 22 of the commemorative 2009 cents. I just hold on to the ones in better shape, so we've got quite a few of those to add to some rolls. I usually just roll these up. Looking here, we do have a pretty nice red cent, so I'm going to see if we can get that as a fill in our book, because we do have some memorials like from the 60s and early 70s that can be added there. And it looks like the L is... I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the video. I've filmed this over, you know, a week or two, just when I've had the time. But yeah, that L looks pretty weird there too. It looks pretty weak. I don't know if that's like a grease strike or something else going on, but that's kind of interesting. So we've got that. We've got the E and the E pluribus gone on these 83s. The 84 with the die crack. And this I pulled aside. I'm not sure if I filmed this earlier, but it's just like a pretty pristine 1988. I don't think it's worth grading. It's got carbon spots and a couple small scratches, but I don't know if I've ever found an 88 in this kind of shape, so that was a gem. It was a very nice one.
definitely be holding on to it. Then we got a couple over here that are just oddities that I have to look into a little bit more. We have the potential missing copper plating. Like I said, I don't think it really is going to be that, because I do see some copper peeking through. I think that's just a thin plating of some other kind of metal. The potential DDR, I don't think this is going to be like a crazy one if it is one. I looked into it, and all of the major ones have like doubling on 1 cent on the bottom. I don't really see any like visible doubling there. Typically you can see it with the naked eye, it looks like. But it is a little interesting. The letters are thicker up top, so you know, it could be some more minor DDR for that 83 cent there. And then we've got the doubled earlobes on these 84s, which is pretty interesting. That's another thing I'll have to look into a little bit deeper. Yeah, that one you can just barely see on camera there. But yeah, I wasn't aware of any doubling on the earlobes of the 84s other than the, you know, the FS101 doubled ear DDO. So that's something else I got to put a little bit of research into. But let's go ahead and see if we can fill any cents in these albums here. Like I said before, I think we may only get one fill, but we're going to go ahead and take a look. Hopefully I don't have a 50S slotted in there anywhere, because I think that one has pretty good potential to be a fill. So we will take a look at that, and I'll show you guys any fills we're able to make. So in the newer wheat cent book, as expected, I only did get one fill. I did get a couple upgrades though. So this 41 up top here is an upgrade. As you can see, the one I had in there was a little more rough. The 50S was an addition like I thought it would be, so that was cool. And then the 58D, one of the ones I found in this hunt, upgraded. This was the other one I found. It's got, you know, some gunk on there. It's just a little more worn down, so this one's a little bit nicer. So that's it for the newer album. I don't think I'll have any additions to the older album, but I will take a look. If we don't have anything there, we'll wrap it up. But I think I already have a 26, so I'll double check on that. If we don't have it, we will end the video there. All right, as I expected, we already had a 26 in this album here. Go ahead and show you guys. That one was a little bit nicer than the one I just found. The one I found was pretty rough. So yeah, it's weird. I keep getting duplicates of these older wheat cents here, which is a little unfortunate. But I'm confident we'll get some fills in the coming hunts here. Hopefully we can get like some collection done of older wheat cents that we can get into this album. But it's going to be a wrap on another episode of the Hunt and Fill series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop me a like. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. And as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Have a good one.